Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on when and where you are watching. I am Plainguy, and this is the Plainguy Show. Guys, I am stoked. We finally have put together our first episode of the Plainguy Show. We got the opportunity to sit down, virtually, with a good friend and fellow streamer, James from OwnerOp Gaming. James's community is one I have never seen before. They are an amazing bunch and it's so welcoming. And James and his wife Christy are no different. So, before we get started with the interview, guys, I want you guys to remember to hit the like and subscribe button below. Every like and subscribe helps motivate us to bring you guys continuous content. At the end of the day, we are doing this for you, the viewer. So without further ado, we'll get straight to it. Mr. OwnerOp Gaming, let's go.
You're the best around. Nothing's gonna ever keep you down. You're the best around. Nothing's gonna ever keep you down. You're the best.
We have OwnerOp, Mr. James himself, joining us today. James, how are you doing, my man? How are you?
Can't complain, man. Cannot complain at all.
It has been a busy, what are we at now? 6 months for you that you've been doing this, James? 6 months, 9 months?
Yeah, roughly. I think my very first video was the 19th of December. So
That's a pretty good
I had it wrote down, actually. I was like, my first video, as soon as I got done, I sat here and I was like, oh, I just did that. And I wrote it down. I was like, December 19th.
That's awesome. That was actually one of the things that I wanted to ask you about. Like, what do you remember most from that first stream? Like, what were you playing? What were you feeling? What was the first stream like?
Well, at first it was nerve-wracking because I'm just sitting here like, first time looking at these programs, I'm like, shit, I don't know if anything is going to work. I'm like, I don't know about my audio. And my first thought was, can you hear me? Can you hear me? And then I based my whole stream off ATS. So that was my very first stream, was American Truck Simulator. And, the settings were not there. I mean, it was, I don't know, man. I'll be honest. I'm glad I'm still doing this because when I first started, I came at it just balls to the wall and nothing worked. I was like, I'm tech savvy, but at the same time, I was like sitting here going, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Nothing's working. The stream's lagging. The audio was actually there. Surprisingly, the audio was there. And audio is, everybody knows, like you were talking about it earlier, audio is like, kicking the teeth right there.
Yeah, it's the absolute worst. Yeah, no, it's that's where I started too, was ATS. Actually, my first stream was ATS as well. Thinking it was something easy that you could talk with people, and no, it's a fun game to play, right?
Oh yeah.
But yeah, no, it's funny. Yeah, is everything gonna work? Is everything gonna, and then of course I'm pretty sure I had one of my first ones, man. I shit you not. I think I had the mic muted the entire time. I think I did an hour and a half.
Yep. I've done that several times. And people were in the chat just talking away. And then finally somebody says, oh, we're supposed to be hearing the game right now. And I'm like, you don't hear the game? And it's like an hour and a half in. And I'm like, you don't hear the game? Are you serious?
They can
one
hear
hit of a button. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, my mic audio and game audio is two separate,
Right.
entities basically. And
Right.
it'll be 1 minute my mic will be muted, or 1 minute the whole, like, you won't hear the game at all. You just hear me just yakking away, driving, and everybody's like, are we supposed to be hearing the game right now? And I'm like, oh yes. One click of a button. Oh look, there's a game playing.
Mine was the opposite. All you had was the gameplay volume.
Yeah.
Nobody can hear me. My mouth is moving. I'm talking. Nobody thought to tell me. You know what? I probably didn't have any viewers. I don't remember when it was, but there probably was nobody to tell me. And
that's a hard time.
Oh, as a streamer, yeah, I'm sure you can, recognize that. It's when nobody is there, all of a sudden somebody will pop up and go, hey, this is really loud. Like, your music is cranked. I can't hear anything else. Or, we really rely on the viewers to help us with that kind of stuff. They don't realize it.
Exactly.
right? They want to come in, they want to look at the show, they want to, you know what I mean? And don't want to criticize anything, but it's like, hey, don't be afraid to criticize. Sometimes I don't know what's happening.
I mean, I have during all my streams, I've got my an extra phone that I use. I have it set up by one of my lights where I can just kind of look up at it real quick just to see if the stream looks okay. Because I mean, I'm always looking at my numbers. I'm doing the, everybody's like, "Oh, you're just playing a game." But hell, I mean, you're sitting there looking at the game. You're trying to play the game, focus on the game, but at the same time, you got chat you got to look at. You got numbers you're looking at just to make sure everything is try to be, par. Try to make sure everything is coming out good, coming out like it's supposed to. And if we're into the game, you're not noticing it if anything happens. I don't know how many times I'll be playing a game like I'm in the middle of a gunfight or whatever, and then I'll look over and everybody's like, "Oh, you're frozen. Where'd you go? What happened?" I look up at my phone and it's like stream has interrupted or whatever. And I'm like, I was like, nobody caught half the good shit that just happened.
They only see the potato moments.
Yeah. Crazy.
Which brings me to, what is the worst moment you've had on stream? Your most embarrassing moment? Have you had without getting us banned or muted here? Have you had any moments where you just went, God damn it, that was like...
Well, I mean, not really too. I've had a few times where I've forgotten to, I forget to switch scenes quite often. The starting screen, I've always had my own starting screen. I just recently changed where I've got the game playing, and I have my gameplay scene and my my live scene look awfully alike. Right. And you can see me at the corner. I forgot to switch scenes, and I'm just sitting here I already hit live and everything. And it takes it about 10 seconds, 10, 15 seconds for everything to go live through Facebook so everybody sees you. I'm sitting here just rubbing my eye, kind of scratch my nose a little bit like I'm picking my nose, and I look over and we're live. I'm like, and the only way to fix that is if you got to download that video, edit that out, and then repost it. And I'm like, it's still there. I left it there. There's one of them, the thumbnail of it's me like this. And I'm like, nobody ever said nothing about it. I'm like, but I was like, man. But I mean, I've had a few moments to where I've gotten, mostly it's kind of like a rage quit, but it's on stream. I'm sitting there, everything is just going wrong. And I'm just like, I look at the camera, I'm like, and all of a sudden the camera just goes off. Not too many really embarrassing moments there, because I'm kind of an open book. I mean, now if I got up and my shorts fell down, that'd probably suck. But
yeah, no, you are an open book. I've watched many of your streams. I'm having a fanboy moment here at the same time. If I'm not mistaken, you are the first streamer I ever sent stars to. I believe you were the first streamer I ever sent stars to. I don't remember when I started watching you. I don't remember what you were playing. It wasn't ATS. I never got into you when you were with ATS. What were you playing when I started watching? That was a while back. You and I hit it off pretty good. So for anyone watching, and it, you know what I mean? Again, we talked about this earlier where, you know what I mean? Some of the questions we're going to ask is stuff that you guys might not know, but it's stuff I've been around, we've seen. But yeah, I don't remember what the first game you were playing was. Maybe it was ATS. Maybe, because I was watching a lot of ATS stuff. And I think that's where I might have came across you. And then
when I first started, it was all ATS. So
yeah.
It might have been.
And December, yeah, you know what? That probably would have made sense, because I started in March and I started watching before that. So yeah, that might have been right. Where was I going with that? So what is what is your goal as a streamer? And I know that's a vague question, right? Because what is our goal? Well, all of our goals are to get as many viewers as we can and have a good time doing it. But do you have kind of an idea on what is your ideal goal of being a streamer in kind of sense? What is your path towards it? Again, without letting out any trade secrets, right? We all have our trade secrets. I can personally say, before you get to that question, that I will watch you and I will see something. I go, God damn it, I like that. But I don't want to do it because I don't like that I'm stealing something from somebody else. But at the same time, that's what we all kind of do. We find something that, so if you had your ultimate, Like, what would you like, Facebook partner? Do you want to do this full time? Like, what is your your goal?
Well, definitely full-time streamer is, I've always had three major goals whenever I first came into this. One of them was to be full-time streamer. That way I can always be home, especially with Christy, my wife, be here with her all the time. And then also do what I enjoy doing, playing games and making content. Facebook partner is, of course, a long shot, but I'm sure, I think I can get there eventually. I mean, it's a dream to be a Facebook partner, because for one, that means I'd be hopefully at least having supporters, making some kind of income on that. That way it'll actually support me to be home full time to do this. But the ultimate goal of me doing this is I'm creating a community. Not only just me playing games, creating content, but also games that the whole community can come in and play. Also a community to where if, like in my head, like say you were out all day long, you were just having the god awfulest day in your life, and you just went home, got on your phone, or say you're on your own computer, just stream, kind of searching around, and you come across the stream and you came in and you just could not leave. Like it gave, like the stream, you came in, you were laughing at me, everything else, and everything that just gave you that, crap day just was gone, like you just forgot about your day. I'm trying to create that kind of a place where you can just come in, forget about life, forget about the day, good day, bad day, it don't matter. Just come in, have some fun. And, in all hopes that, as soon, when the stream ends and you go back to reality, that you don't even think about how bad your day was, I just want to create a place that everybody come out and hang out, basically.
No, that's fair. And I think that's important. And anyone who hasn't watched James's stream, if you guys hop in on the comment, it is the most inviting, welcoming, fun time of a place. I came out of nowhere. I knew nobody. You already had your base of, I'm not going to name any names, but you already had your base of solid followers, right? Whenever I came in, and I remember just being this guy. I originally came in to try and sell. I won't lie, it was to try and self promote. That's why I was checking out streamers, and your content sucked me in. And then when came time to actually do a little bit of promotion, you guys were awesome. You were like, hey, you know what I mean? I came out and I said, hey, do you mind if I were to share my page? I'm trying to get this started. And your community embraced me. Your moderators embraced me. You on the stream embraced me. And I think that's important, that welcoming community, right? You see people with communities that, and I think there's all kinds of different communities out there. And I think you have, you have a smaller community probably than most, but at the same time, you have one of everyone in your community feels so personal and in touch with you. And I think that is amazing on what you guys have done with that.
Oh yeah.
On what you guys have done with that. And it really shows. It really shows, man. I don't know how many times those chats they go from funny to inappropriate back to funny to, no, that's good. And you know what? I can say you've done that for me, that exact goal that you have. I recently switched jobs.
Yes.
And before that, I was in a job that I was just, wasn't my thing, and I was miserable at it. And especially when I was on nights, because you always knew when I was on nights, because I would be on the stream, you know what I mean? Normally right till the end, because I had nothing else to do. Yeah. And it was exactly that. It was a way to take your mind off of everything crazy. I think that's what a lot of the streaming should be about. Right. Mm-hmm. My idea when we got started was, hey, during these times, because, you guys down in Texas have a little bit different lockdown situations than we do. There was nothing to do. So let's try and bring some sort of entertainment to people that you might not be having the best day. And you, sir, have successfully accomplished that. If that was your goal, you can retire now. You've already done that. You've already done that. As for the partner goal, well, that's still to be worked on. But at the rate you're going, I think that'll be doable. It's a grind, right? I don't think people realize the grind that's involved. I really think that, what was your grind? What is your grind when it comes to doing a stream? Kind of give us behind the scenes on. We all know we have days you get there and you go, what am I going to do today? What is the grind of streaming?
I mean, the biggest grind to me is, for one, in order to get to that goal of having a Facebook partner is, of course, your followers. That's all streamers a lot of streamers are looking for. You want the viewership, you need the followership, all that. And there are some days that it is really hard. Like I get off, I'll go work full time all day long outside, and I come home and I'm just sitting here. You know, we do our daily routine, and I'll come in here. I'm just like, oh hell! If I don't actually make my schedule a weekly schedule for what I want to stream first, then every night that I come in here, I'm just like, what are we playing tonight? And then a lot of times I will turn to the community. I'm like, hey guys, what do you want to see tonight? And then of course it's like, it's almost one of them bickering things. Like, you know, I go ask Christy, I'm like, hey, what do you want to eat tonight? She goes, well, I don't care. What do you want to eat? Well, I don't care. What do you want to eat? And, you know, if I don't do a poll, like if I do a poll up there, I'll get interaction with that. But if I just if I just make a post saying, hey, what do you guys want to see? I'll get all these comments saying, oh, it's whatever you want to play. I'm like, man, that's not what I was wanting. I was like,
why I put that up there.
Yeah, I was like, throw a name out there. The first name I see out there, I'm going to play it. You know,
yeah,
just go with it. You know, that's what I do with Christy sometimes. I was like, just hey, name off a few places that we like to eat, and she'll name like the very first one she names off. All right, we're eating there. She goes, oh, I see what you did there. I'm like, yep.
Oh, I figured out a great trick for this, right? I finally figured out this, you know, where do you want to eat? I don't know, Yeah. I go to my wife and I say, you'll never guess where I'm taking you for dinner. And wherever place she names is where we go.
Yep.
It's a foolproof plan.
It is. It
right?
is. I think I've done that
it
once.
costs me an arm and a leg. Because it is not normally, you're taking me to McDonald's. It's, you're taking me to the Keg. And it's a God son of a... Yeah, all right, we're going to the Keg.
Yeah, the last time I've done that, it costed quite a bit because, I mean, the place that we go to, it's 40 minutes away. So we got to drive over there for one. And then, of course, you got to get your appetizers. You got to get your main meal. And then you got to get your dessert. Well, we don't always get dessert, but, you know, if a waitress comes out there and says, you like any cheesecake for that? I'm like, oh, my God, you said cheesecake?
I was good.
So then again, so then again, there you got to get dessert, you know, and then you get your take home drink, and then, but I don't know, like I push myself to do this every day for one because I like, you know, I see I can hang out with Christy all day long, and I definitely enjoy it whenever we play the games that she can be in here with. Mm-hmm. I see my coworkers all day long. I get tired of my coworkers. As far as chat, everybody that comes in the community, I can't get tired of you guys, and I grind to tell. I'm like, I don't care how tired I am. I'm going to come in here just so I can just come and hang out with you guys, play one of my favorite games. If it's just me playing, or if it's a multiplayer to where I can have all you guys in here, either or, as long as I can come in here and chat with everybody, I'm at peace, you know? So it's not completely just come in here, go to work, you know, try to create the best content ever, anything like that. It's coming in here to sit, relax, chill. This is like my Zen place, you know, like I know I've heard you say it before, you know, my Zen place, you know, this
my man cave. This is my man cave.
Man cave. Yep. And this is, you know, I call it, you know, of course right now it's just the green room, but you know, you know, this is my stream room. You know, this is one of my happy places, and I get to have all my friends all together, my family basically, and that's what pushes me to be in here basically almost every day.
Nice. Yeah, no, it's you know, because the thing you look at is the worst case scenario. The worst case scenario, you have a terrible stream, right? Which we've all had them. We've had great streams. We've had terrible streams, right? The worst case scenario, you run a 2-hour stream and it was the worst you ever had. Okay, cool. I just got to play video games for 2 hours. Is it really that bad? From a streaming side of things, sure, it didn't go well. But from a life side of things, I got to come down into my palace, my kingdom, and play games for a couple hours. Right? Like that's the worst case scenario out of all this. Yeah. So I can see why it's so appealing to people. Now, that being said, with it being such a flooded market of streamers, especially with the world and the state that it went in, you know, to get out there and to make sure people find you and see you is tough.
Yes,
it is tough. So, you know, just the fact that I came across you, I don't know how I came across you. No idea how I came across you. I didn't search you because I'd never heard of you. Yeah. Right. So yeah, it's such a flooded market. Now you guys are great. Actually, speaking of hanging out with Christy all day, Christy is no doubt one of your biggest supporters.
Oh yeah,
hands down. I don't, I'm trying to give her a run for her money, but I can't hold a flame to her. She is hands down one of your biggest supporters. How important is it having somebody like that help, there for the days that, this stream, it sucked. And I'm sure Christy is just sitting there going, babe, biscuits, it ain't gonna matter. It doesn't matter. You're having fun. You're doing what you're doing. How important is it having somebody like that supporting you along this, this grind that we talked about?
It is definitely important. I mean, I can't tell you how many times that I would just be in here like it'd be 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm still in here trying to figure out what the hell just happened. Like I'm just over here raging. Stream is already dead. I'm over here like I've almost quit several times. I mean, I've almost quit before you have actually found me. I've almost quit after you have found me because I've had my issues in between everything, and I'd be doing this, doing that, trying to figure everything out, and there's just a bunch of stuff that's just not going right, and I'd be in here all night long. And when she would come in here, drag me out of here, and somehow, some way, she's like, "Don't worry about it." And I'm just like, okay, I forgot about it. I don't know how to, it's like magic, like she'll come and pull me out of a dark place, without a flashlight, she'll just come in here and yank. There we go.
I've seen her yank you out of that room before.
Oh yeah.
We won't go there. Yeah, that was back in James's stream history. I can tell you, look for an ATS stream, and first of all, watch the whole thing. But when you get, specifically watch the end, and you'll find the one we're talking about.
The things that alcohol will do to you.
No, Christy is phenomenal. She is such a great supporter of the entire streaming community. You know what I mean? She, I started watching you guys. She came over to mine. Christy is there every stream. Now I don't stream, especially lately. But you know what I mean? That she's great for the streaming community. You guys as a whole, as a combo between her community aspect in the sense of that direct one-on-one interaction she has, right? Mm-hmm. Because although you interact so well with your chat, she is also in there interacting through the chat.
Yeah.
Right. So the things that you miss, because hey, we all miss stuff, you said, you're in the middle of a firefight and chat's rolling and you're trying to get over to look at it, but you're going, no one wants to see me die. Well, I do. I personally love to watch you die on stream. That is one of my favorite things.
Pretty fun,
but having that partner with you to do that is awesome. And, that I'm happy for you guys to have that, it's not an easy thing. So, we did pick up a little bit of dirt. I've been doing some digging. James. I've been doing some digging. And I'm sure your fans are going to want to hear this, and I want to know. These are things I don't know answers to. So you were in a band?
Yeah, I played in 2 different bands actually. I used to do backup vocals when I was a little bit younger. It was pretty much more of a heavy metal band.
Oh.
And I can play a bass guitar more. How do you put it? I can play a bass guitar like you play a regular guitar, so to speak. Like it has a different sound signature to it. And I can play a regular guitar. The only problem is I can play a 12-string guitar better than I can a 6-string. Now, I don't understand that. I never have understood that. But somehow I don't know, it's easier. And I have opened up for a few name bands over in the town next to us, but I mean, hell, that was years ago, and I was working nights at the time for retail, and every time I had our drummer, he lived out of town, and whenever he would make it to town, he always wanted to come over, lay around, and he's like, "Oh, let's go eat before we start practice because we got a gig coming up." And as soon as it was time to start practicing, I was like, "I have to go to work." So it just,
schedule.
Practice and not playing big enough gigs was not paying the bills. So I had to choose work over, making music.
You got to do what pays the bills at that point, right?
Yeah. And go ahead.
But you guys, you actually opened up for, so like you guys had some gigs, you had some paid gigs, you guys.
Yeah, we had a few paid gigs. I mean, it wasn't in no big time name place, but just enough where like big bands will come swinging, like they'll stop. Like it's a town big enough that the celebrities will come by just kind of like a halfway point just to come stay the night. And then if there's anything going on, it's like, oh yeah, I'll put on a little show for you,
Oh, nice.
You got people to open up for us? Yeah, sure. Okay.
Yeah. So these little bars nobody's heard of and little, the outskirts of towns that nobody's heard of. But hey, man, that's musician, streamer, pool shark of what I hear as well. We're going way back into the banks. I went way back. I dug as deep as I could find, and I'm sure you know 100% where this information came from. But,
probably.
I heard you can run a mean table. Could you still run a mean table?
Well, I mean, it's been years. I've actually paid my bills off of the table.
Oh shit! Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've actually gambled a whole paycheck one night, and I ended up doubling that paycheck. So,
ballsy man, not afraid to take a risk. I like it.
Well, I mean, at the time, single, living in an apartment, my bills, the rent was already paid. As long as I had a roof over my head, I could have cared less if I had, if I had drink or, I mean, I got tap water. I would have drank that, but no food. I barely had I always kept my my whiskey cabinet, my alcohol. I kept that cabinet pretty full. So, I wasn't going to be thirsty or, whatever. But I was like, you know what? At least my rent was paid. So I went and gambled that paycheck. It was like an extra paycheck. I was like, hell, threw it on the table, ran it up, doubled my money. So
I remember my cousin and I, we were out at a bar years ago. Yeah, I mean, years. We were 18, 19, I guess. We're 19 in our province to drink. Yeah. Yeah, you guys got screwed on that deal. Wasn't over, it's 18, and I was on the border of that province. It was fantastic. But no, I remember we went out to a bar, and we were drinking, and, there's a pool table there. It's one of them pay tables, right?
Yeah.
Only pool table in the place. And so we're just having a game, him and I, and I'm well past my limit already. These guys come up, and they say, you want to play? Sure. So, $5 a game? Sure. Why not? Right? Start.
Yeah.
And it kept going double or nothing. Now, the fun fact on this is I don't think I sunk a ball that entire time. And we won a couple $100. I remember that was the most I've ever won. And I say I mean my cousin. Yeah. Because I would be cross-eyed and trying to line up the shot and can't really see. And then I would just send it. And there was these girls that were over there. So I'm going over there and I'm talking to the girls while everything's going on. He's giving me the tap with the cue. It's your shot. Let's go.
Come on.
I was never good at pool. I was better drinking than sober. And I think that comes to a lot of the things. As you can see, I played dart this side. I played darts as well. I think pool and stuff like darts, you need to have a certain amount of lubrication in you to play them well.
Oh, yeah.
Video games, depends on the game. Video games, I think it depends on the game.
I agree to that. Yes.
Guys, I want to take a second today to tell you about Project PCs. I personally use Project PCs for all my computer needs. And let me tell you, I have plenty of needs. Whether you're an experienced gamer and computer savant or a noob just like me, Project PCs has what you need. If you have a question about a specific aspect of your computer build or are looking to have one custom designed and tailored to suit your needs, Project PCs is here to help. They are a one-stop destination for all your PC needs. Looking to build the gaming PC you've always wanted but not sure where to start? Let them help you with your vision. Project PCs, your project, their passion. So the other thing that I don't know if your hardcore followers will know this, but anyone watching this might not. You have a certain touch for food porn, we're going to call it. So
Yes.
you guys do cook-offs, of what I understand, competitions. How long have you been doing this for, these cook-offs? Like, tell me what they are. I really don't fully know what they are.
Basically, have you ever seen any cooking shows? Do you know what Terlingua is? It's a big cook-off. It's a place where they host the biggest cook-off in the world.
No.
It's in Texas. You know, everything's big in Texas.
Texas.
But basically, there's all these cook-offs. Of course, the ones that we do, we don't really earn any points, except for, I'm sure you've heard the Sweetwater Rattlesnake Roundup.
I remember hearing
They host a cook-off. Yep, they hold a cook-off with there, and they do what they call the Lone Star rules. Every time you win on those rules, you earn points. So you have to earn enough points to get into Terlingua. Once you're in Terlingua, you can be into basically it's you cooking with the champions. You can be on TV, this and that, whatnot. Try to become a big famous cooker, you know.
Yeah.
And but all these cook-offs that we do, it's all just it's fun. It's a place. It's basically like we're going camping, drinking, but when it comes to the actual competition, that's where all the seriousness comes into, because you're trying to beat your neighbor, beat the next, that person that won last year or the cook-off before, because we do at least 3 of them a year, mostly because they're local. We got the Roundup cook-off, and then there's 2 just right outside of town that's happens in spring, and one happens in the fall, one happens at the end of spring.
Okay.
So
okay. And so what is your favorite thing to cook? Because I'm guessing you guys got brisket. We're talking chicken, we're talking rattlesnake. What is your, what is you think your best dish? And what do you think what do you enjoy cooking the most? Are they the same, or if not, what are they, right?
Well, I do enjoy cooking most of everything. I had before I met Christy, whenever I was doing the cook-offs, I was actually doing them with my dad and his friends, my uncle as well. And then I started venturing more to myself. My first ever to cook by myself competition-wise, I was just cooking brisket. And I've learned that was my biggest meat that I've ever learned to cook with. And that's always been my forte, I guess you will. And for one, it's because it's almost like a lazy man's cook. If that's the only thing you cook, hell, you got to make. You just got to get up early, get the fire going right. Throw that damn thing on there, let it smoke. And after you let it smoke, you wrap it up. And you're doing this for the rest of the day.
I couldn't do that. I'm the I cook when I'm hungry. And so, and I'm like, my wife knows not to send me to a grocery store to pick up the groceries when I'm hungry. Yeah. Don't send me, period, because I'm terrible. I come back and I'm like, look, I got Lunchables. And she's like, where's, I told you to get tomatoes and potatoes. And I'm like, but I got Lunchables. Or I go when I'm hungry and I get all the stuff I want to eat right then. And then I get home and I go, man, this is all crap.
Yeah. What the hell did I buy?
Yeah, that's why I don't think I could do the smoker thing, because I'd be like, is it ready yet? No.
What's that?
Is it ready yet?
Yeah. Right.
No.
Oh shit, the fire's out.
This might take a while.
Yeah. I mean, that's why I cook a lot of it. I got to where I cook a lot of other stuff too, because it keeps me busy during the cook-offs, other than walking around goofing off with other people and trying to cause trouble. Yeah. And so we started cooking everything else. I mean, and we'll chunk a lot of money toward a cook-off. Not only the entry fees, the charge it is to park out there, basically. And then of course all your food, the meat, the competition meat for one. I mean, you're gonna spend a bill easily just on that. And then you gotta turn around, you gotta think about, what we're gonna do for breakfast, what we're gonna do for like lunch and stuff while we're cooking all this other crap.
Yeah, because you don't get to eat the stuff you cook, right? Or I imagine you do. Okay, because you give them their sample, the judges their sample or their plate, but you're cooking a rack of ribs and you're giving out 4 ribs out of that kind of thing. Like if you're doing ribs or brisket, like
It's always 7. They do everything in 7.
Okay.
Like you'll do slices of 7 slices of brisket, 7 ribs, a half a chicken,
Okay.
and then like a bowl of beans or chili or whatever.
Ooh.
It varies every year. A lot of times they'll do beans. They started doing a jackpot bean, which they don't do a full table of it. I mean, like 20 people can turn it in, but they're only going to do top 3.
Oh, okay. So what you're saying is, whenever I do eventually make it down to Texas, you're cooking. That's what I'm hearing. That's what I'm hearing. Is whenever we finally do make it down to Texas, you're cook. You cook it, I'll eat it. I don't care what it is. We're talking ostrich. We're talking rattlesnakes. I don't care. I am not a gentleman that is afraid to eat anything.
I'm not either. I'm not either. I love food.
I like biscuits. Team biscuits, Christy, for when you go back and watch this video. # team biscuits. All right, so back to the streaming side of things. So you have been streaming from the beginning on Facebook, on Facebook Gaming, right? You haven't ventured out into any others that I'm aware of, kind of thing. You've stuck with them.
Yeah, I do have. Excuse me. I do have the YouTube, Twitch, and all that, but there's nothing there. Like you can go check my channel out on YouTube. There's nothing there.
Yeah.
You'll just see my picture, basically, the picture on my shirt. You'll see him, and of course my name, OwnerOp Gaming, on there, and that's it. I have not utilized those channels at all because I honestly just haven't had time because I'm always busy looking for the next game, for the next content, whatever. And I haven't been pushing, but I will eventually.
Now, you're hearing a lot of people that are having problems with the Facebook. And I can say this because this video is on YouTube. And obviously, we don't want to get you in any trouble with Facebook. I don't think they're monitoring that too much. But what is it? Do you think Facebook is the future for gaming side for a streamer from your side of view? Or, you know what I mean? Like, where do you think the streaming thing is going? Obviously, you've built this great community on Facebook, and we want you to stay with that community on Facebook. But getting up to the next, constantly moving up to the next level, do you think that Facebook is the place to do it?
To a most point, I do think Facebook is. I know a lot of people will disagree with me because Facebook does have its bugs. They do have their issues, but they do give out so many incentives for streamers that are trying to push. I mean, they are pushing streamers out there. I missed my window. It's taken me a lot longer to build the community, build followages than a lot of people that's done it after me. Take it for granted, though. You can buy ads to push your stream out there. You can't really. I know there was a whole controversial deal out there of streamers buying their viewers, and basically all it is you purchase ads. It pushes your stream out there on there, like it just throws it out there on pages after page, like, you're interested in games, so here's this guy, you're buying that, but like I said, you're not buying viewers because it physically takes this person to go click on your name, open your stream up, and be like, So, organic or not, that's you take that however you want to with it, but Facebook does. If you follow the algorithms right, you follow the guidelines right, Facebook is good to you. They do. I wish they would upgrade some of their servers, however, because there are some servers that we do get put into, and OBS, Elements, OBS Studio, a lot of them have a hard time keeping up with the servers that Facebook runs on sometimes.
Yeah, because I imagine they're prioritizing the servers to their top tier, what they deem as their top tier of streamers, right? And they're kind of amalgamating the smaller servers and letting all of us, little fish. Not that I can even compare myself to the size of fish that you're a much bigger fish than I am, but all of us bottom feeders together into one kind of pool. And I hate to say that word bottom feeders because it sounds negative, but it's the up and comers, right? We'll call them the up and comers. It puts us into a you know what I mean? So it kind of disadvantages you a little bit. Now, the advantages you said with Facebook, and I can speak to that. I actually got a notification the other day where they're giving, what was it that I had seen? It was some sort of star.
Star challenge?
No, it wasn't a star challenge. I haven't seen one of those yet. I have not seen those, but it was like a star incentive where viewers could get stars for cheaper or something. Like if I think
It's the
stream in like a sale.
Yeah, it was like they started doing that during the holidays. It was a holiday star celebration.
Okay.
To where they pretty much all stars that you would purchase were all half off. Of course, you know, a little secret to most people, stars are cheaper on Android and PC.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't know why, but they are.
Well, because Apple likes their cut of everything.
Yeah. Thing iPhones.
Pretty much. Pretty much.
But yeah, I don't know how long they went that they've done that for, but Facebook has their, like I said, they don't do it very often, but they do it more than most that I've noticed.
Mm-hmm.
I can't say much for Twitch or YouTube because I've never streamed there. I'm not, like I said, I have a dormant account just sitting there. I do not know. I know YouTube has a lot of policies, but so Facebook does too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Facebook does need to calm down on their. I don't know. Like I've had people get muted for putting a mouse emoji in chat.
I've heard of people getting, like, you're playing Call of Duty and they say shoot them. And I get the world that we live in, you know what I mean? We won't get into the politics of it. I get where it's a touchy subject, but sometimes we got to look past the context of things here. You got to look at the context of it and go, okay, he's playing Call of Duty. And, which, Facebook sees that.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody in the message said, shoot him. Okay, maybe we shouldn't insta ban. Maybe we should look a little, maybe look at their last 7 comments.
Yeah,
I mean,
you don't need to call in Big Brother just because I said shoot on on the internet.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like you and me. You started the whole, instead of saying bitch, we would say bish.
Bish.
So bish, that's become a thing,
Mm-hmm.
and that's always going to be there.
Yeah, because you gotta, you know what, the platforms put out the rules. We find a way to play within them, but to, obviously skirt them at the same time.
Right.
I don't know how many times I like music. I like music on my streams. So I run Spotify, and I have went and found CD or CMDA free playlists.
Yep.
And a couple times I had it. It hasn't happened recently, actually, but again, I've been streaming recently. But a couple times I get the little notice after the stream, a day later, that they've muted a 5-minute chunk of my stream. And I go, first of all, no one's going back to watch my replay the whole thing. So I don't care. I'm assuming they muted the whole entire audio, because I don't think they can cipher out just the music audio. They probably just cut the audio for 5 minutes, my voice, the game, everything.
Yeah.
But as a streamer, it's tough because I'm trying to play within the rules. I'm trying to find music that isn't copyrighted. I don't want to infringe on anybody. I believe these people that make the music and put that time and money into it deserve to be fairly compensated for it.
Yes.
So how, you know what I mean? But Facebook it's not this is the song, or this is give you no insight to it. They just go, done. Audio is gone. And I don't even think there's an option to appeal it.
There is. You have to dig in a little bit further to it. Especially, say I've got 3 or 4 files of a song. It's 3 different songs I actually bought from the artist.
Mm-hmm.
Because most of the people that watch the show, I'm sure you've heard the very ending of my show. Whenever I go to my last intermission, I have that little song playing in the background.
Yeah.
If you remember hearing that, it's just kind of like a soft kind of. Yeah. I've actually bought that. I have a license to carry that. Before it was free because before I was monetized. After I was monetized, then I turned around and I bought the license to hold those 3. I only had 3 songs.
Oh, I never realized that before you were eligible for stars, you can play whatever music you want and they won't mute you because you're not It's only
you're not making any money.
Right. Yeah.
Once you're making money, once you're making money through the Facebook business, through the stream and all that, there's more rules that you got to abide by.
Right.
The higher you go, the more level up you go, the more rules they punch at you just to keep you in that category of a safe streamer. You're not going to you're not going to go out and destroy somebody else or whatever.
Right.
I will give you a little hint, and a lot of people don't like it because you listen to music, some people like to listen to sounds of the music, right?
Mhm.
Then you got the other people that like to listen to the words, and you got people that like both.
Mhm.
The biggest trick I have found so far to play music is instrumental. Yeah, and I don't know if you've noticed most of my streams here lately that I do play music on. That's all it is. It's instrumental. And I use the program that's off of my stream software. It's got its own little built-in radio, what have you. I mean, there's a bunch of different radio apps as it has, but I stuck with one. And, it's got a lot of music on there that I've actually enjoyed. Like I'll listen to it outside of the stream. Like I'll be out work. I'll plug my phone into my radio while I'm going on a server's call or whatever, and I'm just sitting there listening to my music, and it takes me back while I'm listening to that music. It'll take me back to me streaming. So I'm, just having driving down the road thinking about the stream.
How many times do you catch yourself driving down the road and you're thinking about stuff going on the stream, and do you actually like talk out loud as if you were streaming to kind of work on things? If you know what I mean? Because talking, no, I don't think people realize that whenever you're sitting here, yes, people are watching, there's gameplay going on, we're interacting with chat. You flip that around. We are in a room talking to ourselves out loud.
Yeah.
With people typing up on the screen. Like, it's not, if anyone were to be upstairs at my place and didn't know what I was doing, I sound like a goddamn lunatic. Especially when you tell them, in this case, you and I are having a conversation. It's one thing. Oh, he's on a meeting. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, he's on a meeting? No, he's playing a video game and no one's talking back in your ear.
Right.
Nobody's talking back in your ear. I don't think people realize that is not something that comes. I don't think it's not supposed to come naturally unless you're a sociopath like I am. But it's not, everyone, hey, it's easy to just sit in front and talk. And no, it's not. It's not as easy, I think, as people think. And that's why I encourage everyone to try it. Try streaming. If you're good at it, great. Right? If you're good at it, great. But I think once I started doing it, I realized the guys like yourself, the work that you guys put in, because it is not as simple as just sit down, turn the computer on, play a game. That's not what it is. That's not what it is.
If it was, we wouldn't have all this stuff.
Well, that's it, right? We're talking. I don't know how many hours I spent on buttons.
Yeah,
man, with sounds and holy, because I'd listen to that was the other thing. I didn't want to steal your buttons. I was like, oh, I really like that one, but damn it, James uses it all the time. What am I going to do?
Hey, you're one that I'll let you on anything that I have.
I'm not doing flames though.
Huh? All right. Yeah, I probably have to beat you for that one. Or that I'll just have to find a better one.
Yeah, you do that. I'm like, oh, I like his star thing. I'm like, that's cool. And then you come out with this new star thing, and I'm like, man, I had my fireworks. I'm like, this is cool. And then I seen your new stars. I'm like, that's even cooler. God,
I don't think you've seen my latest,
my
latest star thing.
I don't even. I'll have to send them to see it. I haven't. Anyways, it's not good. That's not it. What advice would you have? You guys have always, like I said, we went back to earlier. You guys were great taking me in as a new streamer. I knew nothing. I am literally when it came to streaming, I've played video games. I enjoy video games. I would not consider myself a gamer.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, I would not consider myself a gamer. My gameplay probably shows that. But you guys took me in, we did all this. What advice do you have for somebody if they're watching this and say, you know what, I'd like to give that a shot? What advice do you have for them?
Well, first of all, I would make sure that it is something that you want to do, because streaming is not for everyone. And I would actually start out little. Don't go out and go buy the best PC that money can buy. Don't go out and buy you a badass monitor. Don't go buy all the equipment. Like, you've got a stream deck, but it helps with your buttons. It helps switch scenes, this and that. You need to start out little. I would recommend to have at least 2 monitors. People do it on one monitor. It is hard. I've done it because I did have a monitor that wouldn't work at one time, and I was sitting there, alt tab, go from game to stream. And I mean, if you can have the stream playing on the phone or whatever, so you can see what's going on, that's fine. But the biggest deal is make sure that this is something you want to do, because a lot of people do think that that's all we're doing is just sitting here playing a game and just recording it on to Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, whatever. There's a lot more that goes behind the scenes, as Sean was talking about. You have, you got to make sure your audio is good, your graphics are good. What kind of person are you wanting to be behind the camera? I'm completely different outside the camera. Not much different, but I am different away from the camera. I'm laid back. I'm I'm more of a listener. Whenever I hit that go live button, my whole life is like, we turn it down. I'm like, hey man, how's it going? I can't shut up, But if you start streaming very first time, try not to get discouraged, because you will have problems. Problems will be there. I still have problems to this day. I've been doing this for, since December of last year. I still have problems to this day. They will arise. Nothing ever goes right with technology. Technology is not perfect. It never will be. That's how I feel about technology. I mean, it upgrades everything. Every time you get an update on your computer, you need to go through all your settings again, because lo and behold, there's going to be one thing that's going to screw everything up, and you're going to sit there and go, And the first thing, my first thoughts a lot was, I don't want people watching me struggle do this, so I'm going to kill the stream. A lot of times you need that stream up so maybe you can have one of your viewers help you out. But all in all, if you ain't streaming, you ain't growing. But at the same time, don't jump all in, because chances are you might spend a shit ton of money and it might not be your thing, because streaming is not for everybody.
I couldn't agree more. And whenever we got started here, that was the, hey, it is easy. I've already looked at what I've started to accumulate, and I'm even newer than you. I'm 3 months into it, whatever it is, and and part-time. And you're right, 2 monitors, bare minimum. You don't even need 2 monitors. I'll beat you on that. You need a monitor and a TV.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Because you can save some money. You can do some things. I mean, it doesn't take a lot to get started. And you're right. Get started, get a webcam. Yeah. Even myself, I don't have the biggest and baddest PC. We've talked about this before. I have a PlayStation. Everyone almost nowadays has a console or a decent gaming PC. If you don't have a console, you tend to have a decent gaming PC, especially if you're going to get into something like this, right? Nobody gets into this and goes, I don't have a PC or I don't have a console, right? For the most part. I'm sure there are people, hey, mobile games is becoming huge.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But there is ways and there is cheap alternatives. And if anyone is ever looking for them, by all means, guys, private message me, because I am the king of the cheap setup. I can't believe this combination of stuff has produced what you guys are seeing here today, or anything that you guys see on stream, but it works. And you're right when you say that, it's not for everyone. If it was up to me when I wanted to do this, I would have went out and bought all this stuff. My wife was like, let's maybe take it easy a little bit there, cowboy. Let's maybe, right? If you remember, we had a spending cap. I wasn't allowed to buy anything anymore. And then I said, once I hit 100 followers, I think it was the hunt. No, was it the 100? I don't remember what it was. We had set a goal that once I hit this, I'm going to buy the capture card.
Yeah.
And then we bought the capture card. How was I streaming before that? I don't remember. Oh, I was playing crap. I was playing Pogo stock and I just had PTSD for a moment thinking of Pogo stuff.
Oh yeah.
But no, there is ways for you guys out there to do this without having to go, all out. The green screen, you don't need the fancy green screen. You and I are opposites right here, where you can see that there's 2 different styles that work.
Yeah, and don't go out and paint your damn walls.
Without permission.
Yeah. I own my house, so yeah, I can paint this wall. They do, if you want to do the whole green screen effect, if you own your place, by all means, it is easy. It ain't going to fall down.
Yeah.
I have seen issues with people that have the backdrop.
Yeah.
And somebody be like, oh, hey man, there's something floating behind you. Oh, this is my green screen. You see the guy turn around and we'll just take it back up, like, hell, you can just hang a towel behind you, go buy you a green towel.
Mm-hmm.
I went, we went a little all out and just bought a bunch of paint and just kind of went after it. And
it works though. It works and it looks good on stream, right? And then you could do the opposite, what you see back here, right? Those are $5 LEDs that are on my TV. My dartboard case, that's a little special. I had that case made and actually indented for room for the LEDs. That's because we love darts. But it's easy. You know what I mean? There's always a way to do it. You don't need the best and the baddest. Like I said, guys, this is a lighting trick that you see here. This is a lighting trick. I have light here, dark in the background with bright lights. I've got $10 worth of lights, a $20 chalkboard, which I finally added a light to it. I really like how that turned out because it lights up nice. What Mrs. Plain Robin writes on the dartboard. It was always there. No one could ever see it. There was one time, if you haven't never noticed, it actually said Mrs. Plain Rules, Plain Guy Drools.
I think I've seen that one.
You could just faintly see it in the background. But no, it is important for anyone starting out to remember, guys, like I said, you're going to have problems. Every stream is not going to go right. And there will be times you will see 0 up in the corner. Zeros all the time. The biggest thing I always remember is pretend you're talking to 100 people.
Yeah.
Pretend, because when that guy does come in, right? And you can vouch this when, you're struggling for viewers. When somebody comes in, if you are just sitting there quietly and he ain't staying, right? He ain't staying. So, always, you can't always be positive, be entertaining, be yourself. Because if you try, like, I know you said you flip your personality, right? You can flip your personality, but at the same time, you on stream and I believe you off stream are the same person.
It's pretty close. I've become more of an open. I will say that from streaming, it has changed my life in certain aspects. I have opened up more outside. Like anybody that knows Christy, they know that she does most of the talk. Because she knows me. She knows me. I'm more of a listener. So I mean, I'm so much of a listener that I can, like, I don't know. I damn near have dog hearings. That's what I'm like a dog. I'll be like, oh, there's an ambulance, probably about 100 miles out that way, going that way. And she'll be like, I don't even hear sirens. I'm like, oh yeah, they're coming. And sure enough, we'll drive around. Oh look, there's an ambulance. She's like, and I'm like, I hear off the wall things because I'm always listening to shit. And she noticed that too. Like when I'm on stream, like, I don't know, it's something about when I hit that go live button, I just have this burst of energy and it's like, game on, let's go. What are we going to get into today? What are we going to do? And, when we go hang out with the family and all that, I mean, I conversate all the time. We goof off here and there, especially when I'm drunk. I'm a happy drunk. People do know about me now. But all in all, like whenever, like if I go work all day long, when I come home, my first thought is I'm just going to sit here, not in here, but like at the dining room table, just kind of relax with her, just sit there, I've never really been that much of a talker, but whenever I'm on the game or, if you give me talking on a subject, I can go on forever. Sometimes. A lot of times I'm just like, oh yeah, okay. But since streaming, like I said, it has opened me up, like in the real world, as you will, when I'm out and about, when I actually go outside, other than work, when we actually go out and do things, it
kind of builds that confidence, right? Like I don't know. I'm like that when I'm out. I've always been a pretty, charismatic. I love talking to people. Yeah. But I know what you mean. Once you kind of do the stream thing, you're so used to talking to people, reading. You meet people out in public, and you're like, you have no problem. Hey, how's it going? You know what I mean? Like,
like I've never seen you before in my life. How are you?
Yeah. But I got no problem. That's how I met half of my fans. They never met me in my life.
Yeah,
but I'm willing to talk with you. Yeah.
Okay,
so
streaming, it does have its plus.
Perfect.
Go ahead.
I do have a question.
Yes,
and this is we teased this one in the intro, and it's a very important question. Are you a cat or a dog person? And why do you hate cats? It's a two-part question. This is, everyone's going to get this question. Are you a dog or a cat person? And why do you hate cats?
Dog or cat person. Why do you hate cats? Cats are nasty for one, because they, they do take care of themselves in the box. They do cover it up, but then again, it just sits there. Dogs are nasty too, but at least they do it outside.
Well, and they eat it if you're lucky.
Yeah, I do. we do have a couple of them that do that. So, obviously, I'm a dog person. We do have a house full of dogs. Not we have more than what we wanted to because it's just things happen. And but I love all the dogs. Yeah, they're a pain in the ass. They don't shut up sometimes. You guys will hear them on stream sometimes. That's one reason why I have upgraded to a better mic, because a lot of times you're only going to hear me in this room. I mean, Christy, the way this mic works, she can come in here and she can talk just a little bit to where I can hear her, but you guys won't even hear her, and she'll be right here next to me.
Right.
That's what's cool about this one. The dogs sometimes, like with her microphone and everything, when she's in Discord playing on multiplayer, you will hear the dogs because them dogs are loud. Sometimes with my doors, if I leave my door open, they will somehow magically make it across because they are loud. And like I said, there's more than one. There's more than two. I mean, there's a bunch. We have a family of dogs.
Yeah. No, I can't fully agree with your answer, and the only reason is we have both.
Yeah.
We have a dog. We have two cats. Now, in my defense, one of my cats is a dog.
Okay.
I claim him as a dog. He uses a litter box. Sure. I mean, somebody knocks at the door, the cat goes running.
Yeah.
Right. The cat's racing the dog to the front door to see who it is. And I've got a German Shepherd. Everyone who's seen any of my posts has seen Sasha. The cat will fight the dog to get to the door first. So in my defense, that is the perfect cat. Now, I had that cat before I met my wife. That is my cat. I call the dog my dog too. She hates that. She has a cat who is the typical what I hate about a cat. You'll never see the damn thing. I find clumps of fur everywhere that belong to it. We clean the litter box out every 2 days that's full of its shit.
Yeah.
But I don't, the only time you'll see that cat is when you have chips. You open a bag of chips. That cat is on your lap, pawing at you, trying to get you to give it a chip. It's
give me some chips, Besh.
Yeah, give me a chip, Besh. The cat's about 3 times the size it should be, probably because it gets chips.
Yeah.
But okay, so you hate cats and you think they should all go to hell. Perfect. Now that we've settled that debate. I hope PETA is not watching, and I hope any of your potential viewers are not cat lovers, because we might be in trouble. I might have just hurt your viewership.
I do like cats. That's the only thing about cats I like. That as long as you throw food and water down.
Yeah, you can leave forever and not. Yeah.
Yeah,
right. You can be gone for a week. I know you
Cats
can't do that with a dog.
Yeah.
You got to plan your trip around the dog.
Yeah,
right. It pretty much is. I have always said, and a lot of parents are going to slam me possibly for this one. I don't have any children. We are looking to start thinking about having a family, but I currently don't have any children. I feel that a dog is the closest, without having. Obviously, they're not the same thing. I'm not an idiot, but it's the closest thing to having a child without having a child.
Yes.
Meaning, especially a big dog. Because I have responsibility on this dog. If I had a small dog, I don't mind letting them out loose. You see them a little more loose because I'm not worried about my little dog mauling a child. I'm not worried about my big dog mauling a child, but the risk is always higher.
Oh, yeah.
Right? I can't just leave for 8 hours and not think about anything. Right? You got to think of, okay, I got to get home to let them out. They got to pee. If you're going away for a weekend, what are you doing with the dog? That is where you're right. The cat argument wins. Here's food, here's water, here's a fresh litter box.
Yeah.
They don't care. They don't care.
Yeah. They'll survive. Hell, even if it had all that food in one day, it's still going to survive until you get back.
Yeah, exactly. They'll find a house somewhere in the house.
Yeah. I've had a dog damn near starve himself. I've had people come over, feed and water the dog, let him out.
He's still starving himself.
He would drink. He would drink. That's what I was told. He would drink, but he refused to eat until I got back. He damn near starved to death until I got back. As soon as I got back, he's like, "Oh, you're here." I'm nom.
Oh shit, I'm hungry.
Like, what the hell, man?
Our dog does that all the time. You can't leave her. We'll leave for work in the morning because we feed her in the morning, evenings. Come home, bowl still full. She'll go over and eat her breakfast, and it's like, why couldn't you just eat? Like, I know you're hungry. This is also the dog that we have to give a stick when she goes swimming or she'll drown herself.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because she tries to swim and bite at the water and then inhales the water while she's swimming. We finally
Oh, wow.
figured out. I mean, we were at that lake one time, and I started emptying my pockets. I'm like, I'm going to save the dog. The dog is going to drown because the dog is too stupid to stop trying to bite the water.
Gotcha.
And you give her a stick, and she closes her
Yeah.
mouth and she carries a stick around. I was like, oh, it's amazing that your instincts and your survival techniques, how miserable they are.
Yeah.
Anyways, James, this has been an absolute blast.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You know, go ahead, plug the hell of your page. If you are looking to find James, you will find him on Facebook. You will see the tags have been at the bottom of the screen this whole time. Facebook Gaming, my apologies. OwnerOp
Well,
Gaming.
that's the name of it. That's the
It
name.
is.
It's just op is short.
Op is shorter, and he couldn't remember. I couldn't remember how to spell operator. So I'm glad that you kept it as OP. It makes my life a lot easier. But you will find him on Facebook. One of the best communities I've ever seen, guys. One of the, you keep doing what you're doing, James, and I'm sure you are going to go anywhere you want to go. Anywhere you want to go.
Appreciate that, man.
So that being said, guys, this has been the Plainguy Show. I am Plainguy. That is OwnerOp. Which way I'm pointing. I hate this reverse camera. Yeah. Somewhere over here is another guy, and his name is James. Be sure to check him out on Facebook. You guys will absolutely enjoy it. Thanks for coming out.
Thank you.